Good morning, Spirit Team. You've made some comments in recent sessions, such as lies will determine if you're selected here, when talking about humans selected to reincarnate on Venus. So is it true lies are a big no-no to our spiritual progression, and it affects where we end up in the spirit world when we pass, and could affect where we go in our next life? Why would lies be such a big thing to the spirit world so they reincarnate on Venus, compared to, say, rapists or murderers, for example? What other types of behaviour affects where we go in the spirit world when we pass? Selfishness, anger, impatience, greed, etc.? Or perhaps they all affect it? What would you say is the most important negative behaviour we should be aware of that affects our place in the spirit world the most? What about positive behaviour, kindness, being selfless, honesty, patience, etc.? Does this impact our spiritual progression and affect which plane we go to when we pass, and how much does it affect it? People who are more materialistic and think money and possessions are important in their life, does this have any effect on our progression and place in the spirit world? What other types of behaviours or morals affect our spiritual progression? Those who commit suicide, is this frowned upon in the spirit world? You've said before, twice now, that our deaths are predetermined. In some or all cases of suicide, is this something that has been planned out for that particular life before incarnating? Those who commit suicide or euthanasia because they are suffering from a life-limiting or terrible illness, how is this looked upon in the spirit world? Does it make any difference from someone committing suicide because they're in serious debt, just as an example? In the previous video you seemed to support the choice of abortion when I asked about the Roe v. Wade case being overturned. Can you confirm what the spirit world thinks of abortion in a moral sense? People who commit fraud because of greed, how does the spirit world view that type of behaviour? If someone is desperate, can't feed themselves or pay bills, and they commit fraud, does that change anything on how it's viewed in the spirit world? Would that still be seen as negative? If someone steals food because they are desperate, is that overlooked in the spirit world, or is that just as bad as stealing to make money out of greed? Abusive behaviour, cruelty, taking advantage of people, abuse in all its forms, emotional, physical, etc., whether to a child, an adult to another adult. How is that viewed by the spirit world, and how does it affect our spiritual progression and place in the afterlife? Addictions to drugs, alcohol, gambling, etc. Is this considered a really bad thing to the spirit world, or is it just classed as an illness? How does addiction affect our progression, and does it affect what plane we go to? Narcissists that start out being overly nice and generous, but it's not done because they're kind, but for an ulterior motive in the long run. How does the spirit world view this? Just to lighten the mood a little from some intense questions, what would you say is the most important positive behaviour that humans should have? Is there anything else concerning our behaviour, either negative or positive, that we should know about that's important for our spiritual progression and affects which plane we go to?